Today marks another milestone in the history of the Nigerian Air Force, as we all gather here for the decoration of our newly promoted officers of air rank. It is also delightful to see a cross-section of the gathering of families, colleagues, and friends of the Air Force family for an event that triggers happiness and self-fulfillment. It is a well-known fact that promotion is granted in recognition of capacity to handle higher responsibility in most organizations, and the military is not an exception. I must therefore congratulate the 22 Air Commodores promoted to the rank of Air Vice Marshal and 16 group captains also elevated to the rank of Air Commodore. While promotion is highly desirable, motivating, and rewarding, it also places additional responsibilities on those so recognized, especially as our country is faced with current and emerging security challenges associated with an increasingly volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment. Having been recognized by this elevation and bearing in mind the enormous investments in your training and exposure, you all must put on your thinking caps and chart workable strategies in our quest to transform the Nigerian Air Force into an agile and resilient force that effectively meets the air power demands of national security in all operational environments. You will also be required to continue to display exceptional integrity, selfless service, and commitment to excellence, which will ensure that the Nigerian Air Force records outstanding results in every area of competence and translate to successes in the various theaters of operations, with the resultant improvement in security for our people across the country. You must remember that we cannot afford to fall short of the expectations of all Nigerians. I therefore urge you all to bear in mind that failure should never be an option, so long as your determination to succeed remains strong. Our guests of honor, sir, distinguished invited ladies and gentlemen, permit me to use this opportunity to take stock of our air operational efforts across the various theaters of operations, which I can confidently say have been commendable. Indeed, since my assumption of office as the 22nd Chief of the Air Staff about 6 months ago, we all have been witnesses to how our combined efforts along sister services have decimated scores of terrorist leaders, their foot soldiers, as well as their structures and mobilities. Through these efforts, the unfettered freedom of movement that these criminals once enjoyed have been denied or reduced to the barest minimum. Despite these efforts, however, the threats that these non-state actors pose to our nation's security remains daring and will require the emplacement of a more robust security architecture capable of rapid employment of air power in all spectrums of warfare. Again, this is an area that the expertise of our newly promoted officers will be required as they bring to bear their vast operational knowledge and skills in adding value to ongoing operations. Having said this, let me sincerely thank the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, for his unflinching support to the Nigerian Air Force. I must also appreciate members of the National Assembly here present, as well as the Honorable Minister of Defense, ably represented here by the Minister of State for Defense, for their support to the Nigerian Air Force. To the Chief of Defense Staff, service chiefs, as well as invited guests, I thank you for finding time to come and share in the joy of this occasion. My appreciation also goes to the family members of the officers to be decorated, especially their spouses, who have kept the home front all these years. These officers will continue to need their support, perhaps even more now than ever, because promotion demands higher responsibility. Mindful of the pivotal role that our spouses play in our career, I believe we should give recognition to the wives of the decorated personnel, I therefore crave the indulgence of the audience to give our spouses a rousing round of applause. Finally, I wish to extend my sincere appreciation to our friends and well-wishers, especially those of you from the electronic and print media, for standing by us. Once again, on behalf of myself, officers, airmen, airwomen, and civilian staff of the Nigerian Air Force, I congratulate you and I wish you a prosperous new year ahead.